Hello, my friends. How are you doing today? And how were your holidays? Holidays can be really difficult times for many of us and for many different reasons, whether it is bringing up family dynamics or changes in our lives that just bring to our minds and our hearts the reality of how things do change and how things can end and how life is always evolving. In addition, of course, are all of the things going on in the world around us today. And let us just say that it is a time for really important commitments to our spiritual practices so that we can continue to connect within ourselves to the person we want to be. People who are not living in reaction to the best possible, but living more genuinely and truly from a place of response. And there are two tools I wanted to share today that both correspond to this topic of living from a place of response to what is happening, which requires that we are deeply connected within ourselves and connected to what's going on around us and with other people. The first of these two tools is pause. I know many of you are probably familiar with this, but I wanted to spend a minute or two talking about that. And then the second is a question that I have learned to ask myself in the pause that really, for me, turns the pause into the gift. So, Viktor Frankl, who is a person that I've been returning to a lot over the last month or so, returning to readings and truths that he shared from his life experiences, said this about the pause. He said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. For me, one of the most important and helpful things to do is to be aware of what's happening in my mind and my body. For me, when things get they start moving quickly, or I feel like I need to solve or fix or flee, it is a clear message for me to pause. Always returning to the breath. Sometimes it helps a lot to simply put my hand on a part of my body, reassuring my own inner being the way we would comfort a child or someone we love and care about who is distressed. So for a moment, just practice pause. Take a deep breath and exhale, putting your hand on your arm, almost wrapping yourself in your own security, breathing in and breathing out. Thomas More says, how many times do we lose an occasion for soul work by leaping ahead to finding solutions without pausing to savor the undertones? We are a radically bottom-line society, eager to act and to end tension, and thus we lose opportunities to know ourselves for our motives and our secrets. And I would add to his wise words that we also lose within ourselves the wisdom and the knowing of the action that we choose to take, the words we choose to speak. So in that line, the second thing I'd like to suggest is that in the pause, ask yourself, what is it that I am learning? In that answer often will be the guidance to ourself about how we want to respond. And sometimes silence is a powerful response. Sometimes we need to speak clearly, bravely, and loudly and courageously. Always we need to know that we can pause. Pause, my friends, go within, act and respond from your truest self, always asking, what am I learning?